Hello everyone, Anthony LaBella here, taking a look at the upcoming indie game Hyper Light Drifter from developer Heart Machine. And this is a preview build that was released recently to people who put down money and back the game on either Kickstarter or Humble Bundle. So in the interest of full disclosure, I did put money into this game, missed out on the Kickstarter, but did do the Humble Bundle, so I have access to this preview build. And there will be text accompanying this preview, but I wanted to do a video too so you guys can see this game in action. So let's get started. So this is an action game inspired by other titles like A Link to the Past. I know the developers have stated is a huge inspiration for them. So you'll see some of that in the combat. Just right off the bat, I find the art style striking, the futuristic look. There's an air of mystery to it. It's very unusual. The music, you'll notice, sounds similar to Fez, because it is from the same composer, Disasterpiece. He did the music for Fez, and he also did the music for this game. So if you're noticing any similarities there, that is why. And it takes a little while for the combat to get going here. It starts off with you just kind of exploring this area before you encounter any enemies. Actually, let me check over here first. So there are some spots where you can go multiple ways. I did beat the alpha, but apparently I missed a lot of secrets along the way, so you'll notice there are 16 spots here, so there are 16 little icons to discover. I did not find all of them. There are also multiple weapons in this preview build, all of which I did not find, and we'll get into that once we get into the combat specifically. But for now, we're just kind of exploring, and here are some enemies. So these guys, you can telegraph their attacks pretty easily. Even as I say that, I make a lot of mistakes. This game is not easy. Based on this preview build, you will die fast if you just get hit a few times. I appreciate the challenge though, even though I've died quite a few times playing this preview build. I always like a good challenge, so it seems like Hyper Light Drifter will provide that for players. And I don't know if you noticed, but when I was in combat there, I had my basic slash attack, and I can also dodge with the A button. I'm using the 360 controller for this. And I also have a gun. With the B button I can shoot, which is how I take out these guys from a distance. They can be really dangerous. Again, if they get just a few shots off on you, that's not going to be good. Gonna be real bad. Another thing you have to account for in this game is that the platforming is important. You can fall off the edge and die, and then you're right back at the last checkpoint. So you need to make sure you don't fall off the edge or go into any spots where there are holes, which can sometimes be hard to discern. I've noticed I'll fall in spots where I thought there was a platform, but there actually wasn't. So as much as I like the fact that you have to be careful about where you're going, it would be nice if it were a little clearer at times where you can actually walk. But I didn't encounter that. I didn't encounter that too many times, so hopefully it's not a big issue. I'm gonna go this way. So a lot of these early enemies go down in one hit. Later on, they'll take multiple hits to kill. And yeah, those things are really dangerous. I should have been dodging more. Speaking of dangerous, this guy, you have to take off his shield before you can even hurt him. As you can see, the outline around him there. And I just fell. So that's what I mean. That was my fault, though. I just simply dodged one too many times there. But that demonstrates that you can just fall to your death and you're back at the checkpoint. So you really have to be careful there. I want to kill this guy. There we go. He's trying to hide from me. Yeah, after spending enough time with this game, man, the soundtrack really fits the game well, and I felt the exact same way about Fez. I thought the Disasterpiece soundtrack in that game fit it so well. And there'll be a lot of really good video game soundtracks, but not all of them are just so perfect for a game like it was with Fez, and I have a feeling it's going to be the same in Hyper Light Drifter because it's a mysterious and eerie game, and the soundtrack is really helping with that atmosphere. I also like a game that lets you destroy things for no good reason. So I'm just going to do that. Okay, so I went to the right last time. I could go through this door, but again, I'd like to... Actually, this might be a dead end. Let me go through here real quick. I'm trying to remember. Yeah, so I need... Wait, no, this isn't a dead end. And now I'm trapped. I think I made the same mistake last time. So I had mentioned I did not find all the weapons when I played through this preview build. I think I made the same mistake when I played. So I went through this door and was locked out. I think if I had gone to the right and continued down that path, that might have been where one of the other weapons was. But we will find another weapon along the way, another projectile weapon. So not to worry. I was just kind of curious what the other ones were. Oh, I'm in bad shape over here. These green guys are being a pain. So the red boxes, I don't know if you've been noticing, but the red boxes drop something and that has health. So I want to get this one right here because I am low on health. There we go. And you also notice all the blood on the ground. I know the developer, one of the lead developers of the game, his name escapes me at the moment, but he wanted to give the main character in this game some kind of disease, which I believe mirrors his own life where he has some health issues. So the protagonist seems to randomly drop blood every now and then, and there's a lot of it on this screen. And I'm not sure how that plays in the mechanics of the game, if it does at all, but it does, it raises some questions. So again, it's a game that is mysterious in many ways. And here's my second projectile weapon. I just hold it and then I let go. There's a little laser blast there. The difficulty with that one is that you have to get the timing down, otherwise you're open to an attack. Speaking of, yeah, forgot that guy comes behind you. Alright, so we're back here. Seems to have a checkpoint every time you enter a room, and that's it. So if you enter a new room, you will have a checkpoint there, but other than that, it doesn't look like there are any other checkpoints. I will say, if I have one, if you want to call it big complaint about this preview build, is that it seems a little sluggish. Just I don't know if the frame rate is low or... I mean, I don't want to get into a whole 30-60 debate here, because I don't mind 30. But it's just, in general, it feels sluggish even if it is 30. I don't think that's why. It's just... maybe it's part of the preview build, but... it seems a little slow. The combat still feels good despite that. Once you get into a rhythm, and you get a few attacks in all at once, you can... get a good feel for it. And also, I think if you land enough attacks in a row, you have some kind of special attack or powered up attack of some kind. Because there will be instances in which an enemy would normally take 2 or 3 hits to kill, where I'll have some charged up hit and they go down in one. So I'm thinking if you hit enough times in a row and get kind of a combo going, for lack of a better word, you can increase your damage. You also notice at the top left there are what look like cubes there, which I suppose indicate ammo in some way, ammo or health. I'm not entirely clear on what it indicates. You'll notice I have 3 of 5 cubes there, so maybe that plays into ammo somehow. Okay, this time I knew you were coming, buddy. Okay, this guy. That's a problem, though. Okay, I'm very low on health, but we are about to have a new checkpoint, so that's okay. And at any time you can switch your weapons with the triangle, not triangle, the Y, again, 360 controller. With the Y button, you can go back and forth. I like to use the pistol on these guys. takes too long to charge the laser shot. Leave yourself open. So, yeah, like right there was some kind of thing on the screen that indicated maybe a critical hit is what that was. It looked a little different there. Alright, these guys come over here. Let's back up. Create some distance. And there it is again. So yeah, I figure when the full game's out and I have more time with the combat, I'll learn what those things are. Better learn the mechanics of the game. But it doesn't seem like the kind of game that will ease you into things. Again, it raises a lot of questions along the way, but I believe it's one of those games where it's going to be up to the player to figure things out and find out the answers to the story and stuff like that, which, again, I am a fan of that kind of structure. For whatever reason, the Souls games come to mind immediately. That's kind of my go-to reference when I think of a game like that, and I'm a big fan, so. Okay, got rid of those guys. I think there's some health over here. Or at least I hope so. Yeah, there's some right here. Okay. Alright, there are a lot of enemies around here. This is not looking good. Not looking good at all. Okay. Everyone just calm down. Oh, and I fell. That's the thing, if you get a little trigger happy with the dodge button, you will make a mistake like I just did. I was not keeping it under control, let's just be honest there. I was panicking. And even though the preview build isn't particularly lengthy, I will not play the whole thing, so that if anyone ends up playing this for themselves, they can see the rest of it. But again, it's not particularly long, but there are a lot of secrets to discover, it seems, which I did not get in my first playthrough, so I'll definitely spend more time with it so I can find some other stuff. Those other weapons, as I mentioned a few times. And I believe the preview build lasts the whole month. Originally it was going to be just a few days, but they decided to let it run the whole month, so I think until October 31st or 30th. I'm having some trouble with this part. Let's get some health. Crowd control seems to be a challenge in the game. Hard to manage all these enemies at once. Okay. Move on. And I believe there will be boss fights in the game, but I did not encounter any in this build. I saw a gigantic enemy in the distance that may have. It looks like a boss maybe later on in the game, but not in this. Not in this, as I said. Okay, and I think these drop. Maybe they recharge your ammo. Because you can run out of ammo, it seems. Had that happen to me. Another thing I noticed, which I'm not sure what activated it, and maybe we'll see it eventually here, but if I use my pistol enough times, there'll be a charge shot, or the rate of fire will increase all of a sudden. So I'm not sure if it's a combo thing like I was alluding to with the sword, or if it's maybe a cave story-esque system in which if you get enough kills without getting hit, maybe you power up your weapon. That'd be pretty neat. I was a big fan of that in Cave Story, but again, I'm not entirely sure what dictates that in this game. And I like that the combat still feels good, even though it's essentially 2 buttons, well, 3 buttons with the sword attack, the dodge, and then your projectile weapon. Alright, now we got some tougher enemies coming here. These guys like to jump around. But as long as you dodge them effectively, they shouldn't be too much of a problem. Although 2 at once is a little different. 2 at once is a little different. Now they're both jumping. Okay, got one. And I assume if you're close enough when they land, it still damages you or stuns you. It looks like there's an area of effect there. Okay, I think this is going to be the first cube that again, I don't know. Collecting some kind of item here. Once you get 4 of them, so yeah, now I have 2 of the 4. Once you get 4 of them, it unlocks a big door that doesn't seem to lead to anything, but there may be a hidden item in there. And again, there are the 16 slots on that one room I went into, so I did hear about people finding all 16 to unlock that room, so a lot of stuff to discover that they don't tell you about in here. Check how long I've been going here. Again, I don't want to reveal too much. How about we go through one of these rooms and then I'll call it there. So again, if others have access to the preview build or end up playing it, they can see the rest for themselves. You know what I'm wondering? I'm wondering if I can, yeah, you can hit the projectile back at them. That's pretty cool. I love a game that lets you knock back shots at the enemy. Sword. Or you can just slash that thing in 2 if you do it early enough. Okay. I just wanted to try that out. That's pretty cool. Alright, it starts you back here. Okay, well I think that's a good idea of what Hyperlight Drifter is in its current stage. So when this was part of Kickstarter, as I said, when they launched the Kickstarter campaign, I believe they were asking for $27,000. They ended up getting over $600,000. So the scope and vision of the project obviously changed. I think originally they were targeting mid-2014, but obviously that's no longer the case. And I'd be surprised if it came out by the end of the year. I think fall 2014 is an optimistic window, so I'm imagining we'll see this at some point next year. But as it stands in this preview build, I really like the combat a whole lot. I think the art style is striking, very mysterious. I can't wait to dig in and discover all the little secrets in the game. As I mentioned earlier, my main complaints would be the performance. Just technically seems a little slow in spots, so hopefully they can improve on that. And some of the platforming sections can be tricky just because it's hard to know where you're supposed to go. But other than that, I think it's coming along well. It's a game I'm very much looking forward to. Again, I think it'll probably come out sometime in 2015, so keep an eye out if you're interested in this Hyper Light Drifter. I'm going to stop it here. So thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed the preview. I'll catch you guys later.